Hello. Excuse me. Slurpee time. It's the evening. Yeah, it's the evening. I just thought I'd make a quick video, really quick. I did a premiere, which is me speaking live on Ishii. So I'd like to thank all those who joined in with the conversation. Good laugh it was, a bit naughty from Marianne, of course. No, it was a good laugh really, but it was nice, lots of good interactions, lots of comments, questions, things like that. And quite a long, sort of elongated version of a art video, which I think people seem to enjoy, so that was good. I enjoyed doing it as well. To answer a couple of comments really, 2 people have said so far, will you make this a regular thing? I think what I'm going to do is leave it a little bit open. If I do another premiere, it will be on Ishii, it'll be at 7 PM on Tuesdays. So that's what I'll do. I'll try to do it every week, I'll try, but I'm not going to make any promises. To make a video, particularly an art video, you've got to keep stopping and taking photographs or a little bit of filming, things like that. And it does something to the flow of the painting, if you know what I mean. It really does. I don't know if you can see that one. Can you see that? That's just about done now. There you go. I mentioned that in the video. There we go. Yeah, I mentioned that one in the video that I was going to attempt to do semi-realism, which I do sometimes, but I had this vision in mind really. So that's turned out quite well. One of the comments or in the live chat really was from somebody called Reese. I hope you don't mind me mentioning you, Reese, but you spoke about something in there, and just to finish off what I was saying really is that the key really to your inner happiness is a self-knowing and a kind of, the most important thing is to be true to yourself. To attain any happiness, any real meaningful happiness, and to sustain it is to be true to yourself. So just be true to yourself, mate. Regardless of what anybody thinks, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And honestly, it doesn't matter. You know, we think things matter at the time. And then we look back, 6 months, a year, 10 years, whatever, we look back and we think, well, it didn't matter anyway. It wasn't important, you know. What mattered for you at the time was that you were true to yourself. And being true to yourself builds on your inner happiness. It's as simple as that. You know, when you don't live according to how people think you should be living, trying to live that way is doing yourself a huge disservice really. It can only bring unhappiness. What's the time? Okay, I'm just looking at the time because if I start chatting, you know, this camera turns itself off at 20 minutes, so I'm going to turn this off in about 15 minutes and turn it back on if I do carry on chatting. So yeah, by being true to yourself, regardless of what they think, anybody thinks, it doesn't matter really, you know. You can't be happy trying to live the way that other people live. And just because it's the way you live perhaps isn't the norm, whatever the norm is, it is the norm. It's the norm for you. You know, your normal is your normal, my normal is my normal. You probably wouldn't want to live my life. Lots of people wouldn't, but my life for me works, and it's the normal way for me to live. You know, I function better on lots of different scales of lots of different things, which I've mentioned over the years in videos. And I have to be true to myself. It's as simple as that. So to build your inner happiness really is just to be true to yourself. Don't give a shit what people think. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what anybody thinks, you know. The truth is, whoever thinks whatever they think, the truth is, in 2 years, 3 years, you wouldn't even know half the people in your life. And that's fact, you know, that's, your life moves on. It's as simple as that. And, you know, people don't matter at the end of the day. You know, it's nice to be civil and pleasant and polite and respectful to people. Of course it is, if you can, you know. But ultimately, you've got to live your life your way for you. It is your life, not their life. Okay, so it's about being comfortable in your own skin and just being true to yourself. That's it. Just wanted to add that because I know last night it was a bit rushed, really, all the different conversations going on and all the rest of it. And I was trying to interject, you know, and converse with several different people at the same time. So it's quite busy. My end is quite busy. You know, I'm sort of reading every last thing that comes in and trying to welcome people and trying to chat and things like that. So, and if I do miss anybody, if I ever do any of these live chats, premieres, whatever you want to call them, if I do them and I miss anybody, I do apologise, but I'm busy. You know, I'm busy. I'm doing my best, really. Anyway, so Slurpee time. It's a beautiful evening here. Been a bit damp, but very warm. I'm hot. I've just, while I was making the Slurpee, I opened up the back door and just stood there. Just stood there in the cool air, you know, it was so hot. It's still hot in here now. I've had one of those days. I don't have them very often, but I've had one of those days today. Very odd. The last week, I suppose, I've been on a bit of a spending spree. Just things that I needed or wanted, more want than need, although one of them was a definite need, and that was my mattress. Because I had this bad back for a number of weeks, I've decided to attack it a different, every single way in, if you know what I mean. So obviously with medication, with yoga, I've been trying to do extra stretching, lots of stuff. I've got a back brace and things like that, you know, and it is better, it is getting better. We're really nearly there now, which is wonderful. But one thing that I've realised since it's starting to get better is probably my mattress isn't the best, even though it was brand new when I bought it 8 months ago, was it? It was April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, 10 months. 10 months ago it was brand new, but it wasn't the best quality mattress in the world, you know. So I've been saving up and I've bought a decent high quality mattress now that's hopefully going to last. It's got a 10-year guarantee on it anyway, so it's extra firm, it's very thick, you know. So I've put that on the bed today. I've bought new bedding and all the rest of it, so that's all well and good. I've just ordered some new bedding, some it sounds ridiculous, teddy bear duvet. Now it's teddy bear fur duvet and teddy bear fur pillows, and all it is like a fleece, like a combed or brushed fleece, really, in purple of course. So yeah, I'm going to have lovely warm pillows and you know, lovely warm duvet and all the rest of it. Yeah, because I thought I'm going to spend quite a lot of money on a mattress, so I might as well update all my bedding and get on with it, you know. So that's what I've done. Brand new pillows, brand new duvet covers, 2 of them, and all the rest of it, so that's good. So I've been making my bed today and sorting that out, and that was pretty good. Now, the reason why I've had a bit of a day of it today, I thought I'd get up early, sort my bed out, because I had to pay $24.99, didn't have to, but I paid $24.99 for them to come and take my mattress away as well. The only other way of me doing it, because it doesn't fold, but it's to take it to the local tip, but I've got no way of getting there. It doesn't fold, you know, so I thought, sod it, I've spent a lot of money on a mattress, $24.99, they can have it, so that's gone, that's good, and I'm pleased that I've done that. But I thought I'd get up early, sort my bed out, tidy up, hoover up, things like that. Just started the hoover and pop. Just died. It just died on me. It couldn't die at the end. Now I'm a bit of an old tart, so I've got shaken back on my carpet. So my carpet now has got shaken back on it, and it's had it on there all day long. Still, it smell fresh, won't it? That's nice. Yeah, so that died, a bit of a bugger. But very oddly, last night I dreamt that I bought a Henry Hoover. I used to have a Henry Hoover years ago, can't remember which house, maybe when I lived in Dorset probably, because it was a big house. Yeah, so last night I dreamt that I got this Henry Hoover and one of his eyes was coming unstuck and I was trying to stick his eye back on. A bit ridiculous, but anyway, it's just a dream. Then I woke up today, started the Hoover and pop it went. So I ordered myself a Henry Hoover. So I got the shaken back, so we sat here with a dirty carpet, we're shaking back on it. But the good thing is that they do an overnight delivery, so it's here tomorrow by 11 AM. So I could track it and see where it is if I wanted to, you know. The other thing is, while I say I'm having a bit of a day of it, I sort of am still. I decided that I would get a new camera because when I did this premiere, part of it, I was doing a time-lapse video and I had the camera kind of here while I was working, and the camera, the motor in the camera keeps going, and of course you can hear that over everything. Even if you put music on the top, you can still hear this vibration, like that. So I had to turn the camera on, off, on, off, on, off until it stopped doing it. Then I'd work for 5-10 minutes, maybe half an hour, turn the camera off, make myself a Slurpee, turn the camera on, it's like burning again, and I might have to turn it on and off another 20 times. I can't go on like that. So I ordered myself a new camera. It's a Canon. It's a Canon Super Shot. I think it's SX. Yeah, it's XS or SX 70 HS. So it's a Canon Super Shot something 70 HS. So I ordered that a couple of nights ago, and I got an email this morning to say they're out of stock, they're waiting on new stock, but they'll email me whenever. Now it's coming from the Netherlands, only because I got 100 quid off, but you know, whatever. So I thought, oh, that's alright, pain, isn't it? The Hoover had gone, then I read this bloody email and they said, oh, you're not going to get your camera. And I thought, oh God, you know. Anyway, cut a long story short, but this evening I went and checked my emails and I got another email from them saying the stock's arrived, it's on its way to you. It should be delivered by the 22nd. I'm not sure when you're going to get this video, but I'll tell you what today is if I can, with me special eyes. Thursday the 21st, Wednesday is 20th. I said 21st, now I just listened outside. The church here does a bell ringing session on a Wednesday night. I think it's practice on a Wednesday night, so it's the 20th today. So my camera will be with me on the 22nd. Probably take me a week to get to grips with it, to read it and understand it and what have you. And I might do a few little videos just to kind of practice, really, just play around. So hopefully that'll be here, that'll be sorted. I bought an external mic for it. I was going to buy like a studio mic for in here, you know, so you could hear me dulcet tones a bit better, but I looked at them and I thought, no, it's a bit pretentious and it's a bit, I don't need it, I don't really need it. But I have bought obviously one to go on my lapel, whatever a lapel is. Can you imagine a man in t-shirt with a lapel? So it goes on your nipple probably, and I bought a little wind muff diver thing to go on there. So yeah, that's good. So that's going to be in the next couple of days as well. So we'll be able to go outside, plug the mic in, put the little muff diving thing on it, and talk with no wind hopefully. But you'll be able to hear my voice a bit better. That's the whole idea. That's what I'm on about. So that's good news. So I'm going to get the Hoover tomorrow, I'll get the camera in the next couple of days, get my external mic, fiddle around with it, and then I can play at filming, play at photography, whatever. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's good. And the other thing I ordered is this, which is, what's the name of this? Smok, S-M-O-K, Smok. It's got a vape pen, it's very little. Smok Vape Pen 22. I cough now because I've only used this about 3 times. I only got it today. Okay. There you go, didn't cough. So that's good. That's to help me stop smoking. I like a fag every now and then, but I don't smoke around my art, obviously. So I have to, you might see me in videos, I put my art away so I can sit and have a fag, that sort of thing, you know. Of an evening, not every, about once a week maybe, once every 10 days, I have a pipe tobacco. So I have a slurp in a pipe, some, you know, bowl of pipe before I go to bed some nights, you know. And I really enjoy that, so I'm not going to give that up. I smoke roll-ups, as you know, far too many of them. So the whole idea is that I vape, and this is lovely. This is wild berries, the flavour is. Yeah, the whole idea is it's going to cut me down on smoking, ultimately, hopefully to give up smoking, but we'll see. Very clever, aren't they? Yeah, very clever things. I used to vape a long time ago. Well, I used to vape full time a long time ago. And I'm talking about 2013, 2014. And I'll have to turn this camera off and then turn it back on because I'm chatting, and I now. Here we go. Hello. Part 2. Yeah, I used to vape a long time ago. Full-time vape a long time ago, and 2 of my friends definitely, actually 3, because one of my subscribers said as well, so at least 3 people saw me vaping, and because I was vaping they gave up smoking. They went out and got a little vape kit, and that was that. For those of you who are worried about vaping, oh Bright, it's so dangerous, you know, formaldehyde, popcorn lung, blah blah blah, most of these things now have been debunked, and I've watched loads and loads of different videos. They say that if you vape regular, you're taking a dose of formaldehyde, what's the other one, battery acid, de-icer, things like that, and it's rubbish. I think what happens is the smoking companies, the tobacco companies, invent these stories, and of course they go crazy, don't they? People want to believe whatever. Popcorn lung was a thing many, many years ago in the 40s and 50s. In America there was a big popcorn factory, and they were breathing, these people were breathing it in all day, this buttery syrup it is, and they boil it to such a degree that the air is thick with it, so they're breathing in, you know, mouthfuls and mouthfuls and mouthfuls all day long. And there was a very rare disease called popcorn lung. That's what they now say that you can get if you vape. However, you'd have to, well, the number one, the vape stuff now, the juice doesn't contain that chemical, whatever that chemical is. But even when it did contain, in the early days, when it did contain that chemical, you'd have to burn the coils and breathe that in 24/7 for like 100 years to get, you know, 1% of what these people were breathing in the factories. Health and safety wasn't like it is it now? Not back then. People didn't really think about it. So there's no real health concerns as far as I'm concerned. I did go on a couple of medical sites as well when I started thinking about vaping again, and I can't remember what it is, but they did a test of fresh air, and the fresh air, the chemicals in the fresh air was 0.06, blah blah blah, whatever it was. And then they did somebody who's vaping, and put a mask on them, and theirs was 0.07. So even when you're vaping, you're very nearly just breathing fresh air. So it's that harmless, really, you know. Your smoking is in the hundreds, so it's, you know, instead of 0.07, smoking is like 191 or something like that. So that's huge. So if I can vape rather than smoke, it's going to be better for me. Ultimately, nothing is any good for you. Nothing. You know, we're told this food's good for you today, and then it's bad for you tomorrow. Slurpee time. So that's me, Smock Vape Pen 22. One more vape. I loves it. I could do this all day. Now, the only reasonably dodgy chemical that this does contain is nicotine. Oh, I ain't got my bottle. Yes, I have. Oh, anyway, whatever. I bought a bottle, and in the bottle comes another little bottle, and that contains the nicotine, whatever you ask for. There it is there. You'll see that I've emptied that into that bottle, which is what you're supposed to do. Give it a bit of a shake, and here we go. However, you can lower the nicotine level. So if you start on 20, you can lower it 16 or 18 or whatever, go down to 12, then 6, 5, you know. And a lot of people vape with, I've got juice on me, vape with nothing, no nicotine whatsoever. So that's the ultimate goal, really, for me. Now, why is that? Is that leaking, or is it me? I need to fill it up. So I'll vape a few more, and then I can fill it up, and then check. You know, might not have the tank on correctly. Oh. Yeah. Nice. So vaping actually isn't very harmful if you do your research, proper research, and ignore these bollocks sites and what have you. I'm sure they are paid for by the tobacco companies, I've already said. And surely, well, we do know your vaping is better than smoking. Nothing is better ultimately, but I like it. I like to smoke or vape or have a pipe or have a rollie or have a cigar, whatever. I do, you know, that's me, it's kind of my nature really. Right, so if I do another premiere, which I'll try to do it every single Tuesday at 7 PM over on Ishi Art. I'll try to. But don't hold me to it because, you know, I get involved in my art, so deeply involved in my art that sometimes I don't take a photograph or I don't film and I think, oh shit, it's kind of a waste of time doing a premiere if I'm not going to show you a time lapse. If I'd made a little bit of a chat on a video saying I'm going to show you a time lapse and then I miss loads of it out, I have to miss bits out anyway because, you know, something like this has taken me 2.5 days, this one. Okay, it's a rubbish light in here because it is the evening. Anyway, so yeah, it's taken me 2.5 days. So to do a time lapse on that, you know, you can imagine you have to keep stopping and starting and things like that. So I will try and do a premiere every Tuesday, which means you can come and talk to me live. That's what it means, basically. That's on Ishiar every Tuesday from now on. Pardon me, at 7 p.m. Again, just thank you to everybody who came on there and had a little chat and stuff like that. It's always nice to connect on a slightly different level, because you can make videos and the only feedback you get, like on this video, the only feedback I will get is if anybody wants to comment. And invariably, you know, people don't really comment, not a great deal, I don't think, on videos. I can watch a video with 22,000 watches on it and I see 12 comments, you know, which is a little bit of a shame, but you know, if people don't want to, then I think that's absolutely fine, really. But when it's a premiere, when I'm watching it live with you, that's what a premiere means if you don't know, then the conversation is live as it's happening, as we're there, all of us together. And that's really nice, and everybody then feels involved, I think, really. So it's nicer to have a little bit more interaction, a little bit more communication, and a little bit more of a human feel. Because ultimately, making videos is a very surreal thing, and I don't know why I bother doing it or anybody else. I will just mention something else in a minute because I'm going to go, but about 3 YouTubers. Yeah, it's a very surreal concept making videos, because here I am alone, sitting, talking to a little plastic box. That's what it boils down to. Then I will upload me sat here chatting to the plastic box onto a bigger plastic box, and then fire it off into YouTube land. And if people want to watch it, they will sit and watch in their plastic little box and see me on there. So it's quite unusual, quite surreal. Now, I'm not going to mention these people actually. There's 3 channels that have just recently-ish said that YouTube isn't fun anymore for them, or it's getting a bit difficult for them to manage. It's a bit stressful and things like that, you know. And I've contacted all those 3 people and we've had a little chat and what have you. And I said to them, get back to the fun part of YouTube. You know, stop all this editing, stop all this scripting, stop all this trying for whatever, your subs or views, or it doesn't matter, does it really? You know, if 3 or 4 people watch this video now, I'm thrilled to bits, because I think that's lovely. Those 3 people stopped what they were doing and sat and watched me. And if it's more than 3, it's even better. It's lovely. But it doesn't matter if it's 3 or 3,000 or 12. It doesn't matter, you know. And that's what I said to these people. The word that comes to mind when you think about YouTube, the first word that comes to mind should be entertainment. And that's all it is. It's just entertainment. People don't really watch television anymore. They've stopped doing that. And people like to feel connected with somebody, so they turn on to whoever, the Ramblings of Bry. Has he got a new video? Oh yeah, it's good. I'll sit and watch him. Make a Slurpee and sit and watch me and feel connected, you know, and feel entertained. Feel that I've given you something. I don't know whether it's sometimes I empty my head and my sort of deep thoughts. Sometimes, it can be about anything. That's the whole idea of this channel, the Ramblings. I ramble, which is what I'm doing tonight. But yeah, I said to these 3 people, get back to that. Get back to the entertainment, to the fun of YouTube, you know. And don't set targets, and don't have schedules, and don't edit, and don't worry about numbers and subs and views and watches, and you know, it goes on and on. Just make videos. If you're that bored, move on. Stop making videos, you know, whatever. But people do like to make videos. I enjoy it. It's a bit of an interest or a hobby, or it's just what I do, really, you know. The name, the Ramblings of Bry, you know, that's been going now for a few years, hasn't it? So people are fully aware of who I am, what I am, and what you're likely to get, you know, sort of. Like I said, I can talk about anything, but you know the sort of subjects that I might be covering occasionally in my videos, and they could be the serious elements of psychology or the human nature, or whatever, or sometimes talk about my dog or my art or a hobby or an interest or whatever, what's going on in life, broken hoovers, things like that. So yeah, my rock and roll lifestyle. Now I'm in a house, how bloody boring am I? I'm looking forward to me Henry Hoover coming. I hope he ain't got a wonky eye because I should be stitching that back on. Okay, thank you for listening. So if you do want to join us for a premiere, check out Ishiyar every Tuesday at 7 PM. And I'll see you over there, if you like. Nice. Go on then. One last vape, being as it's you, and you've asked nicely, haven't you? Very good. I'm enjoying that. Okay. Take care then. I'll be back when I'm back. Ta-da. Happy birthday, Lisa.